It's showtime, folks.
Absolute ass. Absolute ass. After watching yesterday's 6-0 blowout versus the LA Kings, I thought, surely going to this game, it can't get worse than that. It cannot get worse than that. Wrong. Wrong. What on earth has happened today? What have we just witnessed? Hawks lose 7-1 to the Anaheim Ducks, and I'm at a loss for words. I am at a loss for words right now. I am speechless at this performance tonight. Ducks put up 53 shots on goal. 53! Poor Arvid Soderblom. The entire team owes him a steak dinner or something at the finest 5-star restaurant in Chicago for what he had to deal with in this game. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I don't know what the Blackhawks are doing in California this weekend. I have no idea what this team was doing. I think they must have spent too much time at Disneyland or something because this team was playing in La La Land all weekend. It's like their heads weren't in it, man. They may have been in the game, but their heads weren't in it. Like both of these games, outscored 13-1. 13-1 goal differential the last two games. We scored one goal. One goal from Tyler Bertuzzi. Bedard at least had an assist. Hawks lose with Bedard assist. Hawks lose a Bedard point. Hallelujah. At least we got a Bedard point. But holy jumping. I am in utter shock over what we have seen transpired over this past weekend. And on 6-7 weekend, nonetheless, 6-7 weekend, and the Hawks put up these absolute stinkers. We have Ben Czar. We have the 6-7 connection itself. And this is the play we put out on the ice? Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. It was truly the road trip of doom and despair. The road trip of doom and despair. I mean, this was just depressing hockey to watch, man. It was depressing hockey to watch. The first games this year it truly felt like this team just didn't show up. They just didn't show up to play this weekend. They just didn't show up. Their heads weren't in. The effort wasn't there. The structure wasn't there. These were not the 25-26 Blackhawks by any stretch of the imagination. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Because, one-off game, we can accept one-off game. Yesterday, was a rough game, but you just played that same team 2 nights before. Same arena, same team. You can make excuses for that performance. I'm not really sure what the excuse is tonight. I don't know what the excuse is tonight. I'm sure they'll say it's a back-to-back, use that as the excuse, but back-to-backs are a part of the game. Frankly, last time we played at a back-to-back, we lost 9-3 the Sabres. So clearly this team has some work to do from that regard because there's going to be quite a bit more of those this year, especially with the condensed schedule at the Olympics. Ducks are a good team. We can use that as the excuse. I think the Ducks clearly had a bad taste in their mouths based on the way last week went. Obviously, they blew that 3-0 lead they had and lost 5-3 in that game. Bedard was chirping McTavish and the Ducks bench after the fact. Clearly, Coach Q and the Ducks that game left a bad taste in their mouths. This was the last game of the versus the Ducks this year. They did not want to get swept in the season series, and they played this game with a ton of motivation, man. I mean, they just outplayed us, outskated us the entire game. It was like watching two different leagues. It was like watching an NHL team versus AHL team. It was like watching Team Canada versus Switzerland and then the World Juniors, man. That's the way this game went. It wasn't even the same game. It wasn't even the same level of play. They just skated absolute circles around us. And we just couldn't get anything going the entire game. Couldn't get anything going. I don't know if we won a single shift in this game. Just the entire 60 minutes completely outplayed. I mean, the Ducks had 27 shots on goal in the second period alone. 27 shots in one period. That's more than most teams get in one game. That's unbelievable, man. God bless Arvid Soderblom, man. I know he let in 7 goals, and some of them were soft, but no, I'm not blaming him. I think he still had the goals saved above expected in the positive delta. So the fact he was able to do that, despite letting in 7 goals and facing 53 shots, I think props to Soda. He did the best he could in this game. He did the best he could, made 46 stops. So props to him. He tried, man. Yeah, I think he's the only guy on the team who showed up in this game because clearly this is just one we just didn't want to show up for. I tell you what, man, Jeff Blashill better be bag skating the shit out of those guys after this game. I better be seeing a 1980 Miracle on Ice bag skate after that game. I mean, it looked like the Blackhawks players were looking in the Hollywood, California stands, staring at people in the crowd and not actually focused on the game. That's the way this game transpired, man. I don't know what they were doing last night. I don't know. It looked like the Blackhawks players were not playing sober in this game, dare I say. Their heads just were not in it. Were not making coordinated plays on the ice. Couldn't complete passes. couldn't generate any chances. Like, it generally felt like we just weren't ready to play for this game. We just weren't ready to play. I don't know if the Hawks were out clubbing last night or what. Maybe there's illness going around. I don't know what the excuse is. Like, I don't know what the excuse is. But yeah, it just can't happen, man. It can't happen. And I hope this team's got plenty of tape to watch between now and Wednesday versus the Rangers at home. That's the positive. At least the road trip is over. At least the road trip is over and get back home. I think this team desperately needs some United Center hockey because this road trip did not go the way we would have liked. This team's definitely going through a bit of a rough patch right now. Got to get the ship back righted here. So yeah, got to get that figured out. Still above 100, 12, 11, and 6. So, we're 1 point out of a playoff spot still. So, we get back home and hopefully get the ship righted. But definitely a lot of tape to study between now and Wednesday, like I said. A lot of kinks to iron out, a lot of reflecting to do, a lot of learning to do. Again, this game is another stark reminder. This young rebuilding Blackhawks team still has a long road to go, still a long path to climb here. It's going to take time, right? There's going to be learning curves, but I think this was definitely a stark reminder of there's still ways to go here. It's a long destination to get to the top. So. And it's not always going to be a linear journey, right? It's going to be a roller coaster sometimes, man. There's going to be ups and downs. And this was just a brutal day in general for sports, especially Chicago sports. Bears lose to the Packers again. I mean, I thought if any year would be the year where it started to reverse, this would be the year. It was a fun game, 28-21. It was a fun game. Bears could have come away with it, but, we're narrowly edged, unfortunately, late. Yeah, I mean, the good news is the Bears will get to play the Packers again in a couple weeks, so they'll have a chance to right the ship there at Soldier Field and get their revenge. But, obviously, hate to lose anytime you lose the Packers, it's not a good day, and I thought this might be the year that could change, but unfortunately not for now. But, we'll have a chance to we'll have a chance to repay the favor pretty soon, thankfully. And then also in Formula One world, Lando Norris is your 2025 Formula One world champion. Max Verstappen won the race, and in my opinion, is the rightful champion, the people's champion. But unfortunately, Lando Norris came out on top in the end. Even though he had the best car all year, McLaren dominated. Max Verstappen Racing, Red Bull Racing, a.k.a. Max Verstappen Racing. That man is that team. I thought he deserved the championship. Should have been 5 in a row for him. So, I mean, when you combine all three facets, Max Verstappen losing on that F1 championship, Bears losing the Packers, Hawks blowing out to the Ducks. December 7th, 2025 will be a sports day that lives in infamy for me. This is my 9/11. This is not a day that I will soon forget, unfortunately. This was a rough one. The thing is, I generally can't look, just a couple of more notes on this game. I generally can't think of a single Blackhawk who played well in this game, outside of Soda. I can't think of a single player who had a good game. Like, not one. Not a single one. That's how bad it was, man. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, especially, like I said, in a season where there's Olympics going on and there's a lot of games condensed in one, some teams hit a wall at some point and the play just isn't there. So hopefully they're able to bounce back and right the ship at home, right? But, I'm not going to say two bad games in the end of the world, but it's not ideal, right? If it happens once, fine, you could say that's a one-off, but if it happens twice, especially in a row, it's a bit of a cause for concern. I think it's fair to be a little worried after this weekend, more than a little worried. So, but again, they'll get back home for Wednesday versus the Rangers. They'll have opportunity to right the ship. So that's gonna be a big game, man. Wednesday in New York, we'll be there for back. We will be there for that one. That's gonna be a big one, man. Gonna need a bounce back here. Gonna need a bounce back for sure. This team should be pretty fired up to play for that game and get the season back on track here for sure. So hopefully we'll see that. But yeah, I think that's all I got for this one. I'm going to keep this one pretty short and sweet. I don't feel like doing a long analyzation of a 7-1 loss. The team played like ass. I don't know. What do you want me to say? The team played like ass. Didn't show up. If that's the type of effort this team's going to put in, then this is the type of effort I'm going to put in. Then what are you going to do? No one's going to watch us anyway. So thank you, Blackhawks. You're giving me nothing to work with. So anyway, that's all I got for this one. A weekend that we will not soon forget, unfortunately, but I would like to forget and pretend this weekend didn't happen. But yeah, that's all I got. Well, before I go, thank you all so much for watching this video. Those of you who did decide to watch, be sure to like this video, share it around friends, family if you haven't already. I believe we're at 685 subs times recording, so we appreciate that a lot. And that's all I got for this one. We'll be back Wednesday. Justin Lynch, Bjork Beams out, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.